Good afternoon, welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. So my neighbor Charlie, he saw me working on my car and he's like, yo, because I met him at a car meet the other week, and he's like, I'll come over one day, and I told him I was having issues with my car, and he's like, I've got a boost gauge and all that, so he sent me all that. Well, he dropped it off. I'll show you guys his car. It's like pretty cool rotary ute, so you guys will see it one day. But Josh is helping me do the wiring.
Are we wiring up the EGT probe?
No.
So just the boost gauge?
Yep.
Alright. And then that yellow one goes to the sensor. And then easy! So what we're doing, you got your black wire,
Yep.
which is your ground, so that'll go to the ground. So how we've wired this one up is we just wired this to the ground bolt. So that's, you've got your ground, and then we've run the accessory wire. If you look down here, you've got took it out of a fuse, so it's just come out of a fuse there, and that's what's got your accessory power. So we'll run this to the red wire, and we'll show you once it's the next step.
Made me sad. I was like, well,
So,
I'm not gonna drive it.
I know this looks like a bunch of shit wires, but pretty much you've got your accessory wire coming out of here where the other one was, and that's running into your two red wires from the boost sensor and the sensor itself. Or not the sensor, the gauge. So from the gauge to the sensor, that's running into your accessory wire. These two here, they don't matter currently because they're for your exhaust sensor. And then now once we've done that, I'll just get this black one, which is ground, and then the ground off the sensor, ground it, and then in the next shot you'll see it working. Okay, so I've just run the two ground wires to ground bolt. This is all messy because it's not permanent yet, but we'll do that. We'll hold it there. First off, I'll come turn the key and try to get it so you can see, but boost gauge is working, all wired up. Now let's start it.
What is it at?
0. Give it some revs.
Let's go. Yeah, sure. This car doesn't have a lot of vacuum ports. It has like one for the charcoal canister. I don't know how this one works. I think that's what it is, because this joins the fuel next to the fuel line, or maybe it's for the regulator in the tank. I'm not too sure. But that goes here, and the sad thing is that this is the best place for like vacuum. Like if you like want to put like this line here from the gate to here, you could, for reference, because my turbo doesn't come with the housing like screw that has a little fitting coming out of it for the wastegate. So I don't really know what I would do, because I'm running my wastegate off that one, and I need to also do my my other one, my like boost gauge, and I'm having an issue with the boost gauge one, and it's currently, oh, let me, before the car loses its mind, let me unlock it with the key. Okay, so every time I thought the issue was that I was running a cheap eBay one, which didn't cost me anything. Like, I don't remember how much it was, but it was really cheap as. I think I even got it for free, I'm not sure. The gate, like the boost gauge, doesn't go past 0, so I don't know what to do. So what I'm gonna do is leave the wastegate one where it is, and just take the wastegate one goes to here. So as you can see, usually this hose goes from here all the way to that port in the manifold. I don't know if you can see that well, but this is usually one long hose that goes all the way there. But what I've done is, because that hose was so long, I put two T-pieces in there, so it's basically straight, and two fittings coming out of it. So I thought I'd use one for the boost gauge and one coming out of it for the wastegate. But I don't know if the wastegate one is even working, but the boost gauge one certainly isn't working, if that's the issue. So I bought a straight piece that I could replace with the I bought this straight piece yesterday so that I could replace this with the T piece for the boost gauge one. So those, I'll just remove that, and then I'll cut a little bit off here in the middle, and I'll put that T piece in the middle here, and I'll clamp it, and then one can go to the boost gauge. And then I'm hoping that will work. If that works, then that means the wastegate one isn't going to work as well. So then that means I'm going to have to somehow figure out like a four-way one that has, like, instead of having like 3 fittings, it's going to have 4 ways. I'm going to need to find one, and when I do, then I can run both like up here or something. I don't know, but that's what I'm hoping, because I'm trying to figure out this boost gauge before I put this thing on the road. And the guy that's supposed to do the windscreen wanted all this apart anyway, so he can do the windscreen. It's not cracked all the way like here, which they said would be a problem. If it's cracked all the way here, they can't fix it. But because it's like right here, they said they might be able to fix it. But anyway, let's just remove that and put that straight piece in there and put the T piece here. Alright, as you can see, I have the fender off. Because initially what I wanted to do was just have this long enough to be there, but because I needed it to be to come here now, it was a bit too short. It's not that the hose was short, it's that I had most of the hose inside the car long, just in case ever. So I had to like take the fender off and feed it through more, and yeah, so now it's definitely long enough. I'm gonna make this like not lean here, like stay around here. I'm gonna like make that go down there and then come out somewhere here. But yeah, that's done, and I'm gonna now cut this and feed this in there and see how, you know, if the boost gauge is now getting some reference. Alright, there it is. So this usually goes like that. This is another one that I had off my spare motors. So this goes in the throttle, in the intake manifold, and this goes to the cylinder head. Usually this is just to suck the fumes out of the engine, so you know, like, it doesn't build up in there. So yeah, so that's what that is. I just have it ghetto for now, but if this does work, I can cut it in the middle, put a controller in there, and then this to the wastegate right here, so that will work. But now I'm gonna start it and see if now it's getting like a boost reference, like boost, like it's saying boost. Alright, so it's finally working, and as you can see, it's right there, and I'm gonna go on the gas for a bit. As you've seen, it made 5 pounds of boost, which is sick, because that's how much I wanted it to make, especially at like 6k. So now that I know this is working, this hose is working, and this setup here is working, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this off here, and I'm going to get a slightly longer hose that will go. So I want to be able to put this down here still, around here. So I'm going to take this off, go down there, get a long hose from here to there, and then get this hose and clamp it and take it off here and go to the top of the gate, to the side of the gate. So the wastegate also has a reference of how much boost we're making, so it can start opening when it needs to. And then in between that, I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to run a little what do you call it, what the hell are they called, like boost controller, like a manual controller, so that, you know, I don't blow this thing up. I would love to run like, I don't know, 5 psi and then go up more, but it's making 5 pounds, which is awesome. So yeah, so let's do that. Let's just reroute all this and make it look nice. Alright, made some progress. I ran a hose to right there to that line there, and it's tight, clamped, it's not touching the throttle body, and then it goes in between the runners, if that's what you call them, intake runners, and then it comes to the T here, and then this is to the boost gauge, and then this is to the side of the gate, not to the top. And then I'm trying to also then run a boost controller, which nicely can fit in there. I can just bolt that up there and put the boost up or down, whatever I want. But the issue I'm having is that I don't know if this will quite fit in the hole, so that's my biggest concern right now. I'll show you fellas. I'm sure some will say you can tighten the crap out of it and send it and see how that goes, but I don't know if I can get a hose to fix that up. But I'll see if I can tighten it a bit too much, and if that will hold. If it's not going to hold, then I'm going to find the right type of hose and see if that works. This one's too small as well. It's too big as well, sorry. That one's just thicker, but the inside is the same thing, 3/8 or whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. And to this one, I'm just gonna run a long hose from here to all the way to the manifold, and that's just a what do they call that? A one-way valve, so I don't lose vacuum. So I don't lose vacuum through the booster when I'm on full throttle. Alright, so I found a really good place to run the boost T, and so it's just gonna go. I had to make the hole bigger, but it's just gonna go where the air box usually sits, right there. So it's a perfect place. I could even put it like that so that it's running closer to that line and it's easier for the wastegate. But I did buy these lines. I don't know if they're like heat proof because it's like right near the gate, but I'll try and find some heat sleeves like I have for the alternator and all that. So hopefully that will work. So that's what we're up to now. Hey, welcome back. I'm just continuing on from where I left off. So I was working with Josh the other day, yesterday, Saturday, today's Sunday, and we kept having an issue where like we set up the boost gauge. Well, he did all the wiring, and he put it right here. He fed the wire through right there, and then it comes out here, and then he connected it all up, and it's actually quite hidden. There's where the actual meter, what reads the actual boost, is here. It's not the actual gauge. So the gauge gets information from this meter here, and then that tells it how much boost we're running. The gauge I'm talking about. Currently we don't have the exhaust temperature hooked up. As you can see, exhaust gas temperature. But if we hook that one back up, it should stop flashing. Now, as you can see, it's flashing. But if you hook this up, let me try and do it. See, it stops flashing. But if you unhook it, it doesn't have an exhaust gas temperature reading, whatever. So that's all it needs for it to stop flashing. So I'm probably gonna like tie this together like that so it stops flashing. But yeah, yesterday the issue we were having is we weren't getting any boost reading from here. So I just generally thought like I was having like a boost line issue, like the hose must have been kinked, and I took the fender off to check that it's not kinked. It's not kinked, and I thought it may have had a hole. So what I was able to do is remove this hose from here. Usually there's a T, one going to the gate, but what I also did after that is I blew on this, and Josh looked at the gauge, and it was actually getting a reading. So there's nothing wrong with the hose or the gauge or the wiring or anything like that, but it's rather a boost leak. As you can see, this pipe is off. I really have really terrible hose clamps. This one's the best one, but I don't know where you'd even get some similar to this. But I'm gonna have to invest at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 brand new similar to this, because this is the best one that I have. it doesn't move this thing. But these you can they come off, and that's really annoying. And the thing is about my what do you call these pipes? They don't have those like those little, what are they? What do you? I don't know what you call them, but they don't have that little thing that stops it from actually coming off. The lip, if that's what you want to call it, the actual lip on the the ends. Even the intercooler, I don't think it didn't have it. But I'm thinking if I put those on, I'll be able to run these. But I'm not having an issue here. But it's mainly here because, as you can see, this one's hanging down, and I'm thinking that's the issue. But yeah, so, and I also was able to get a bolt and use my boost T on where the airbox usually is. There's usually holes holding the airbox down that goes inside the airbox, so I was able to use that and put the boost T here, so I can now run this line here to this side of the gate, to this side of the T, boost T. So the gate to the boost T, from the boost T to the reference, and then from the reference to the boost gauge, and then from the reference here also to the vacuum, the highest point, the best place for this engine. I did have issues with this engine at first, like getting the right reading, because I was using the vacuum on the other side, but the best vacuum is actually right here, and I'm running a little hose coming out of here into here, and then a T comes out of there. One goes to the boost gauge and one goes to the boost T, and then from the boost T to the gate. So that's my current setup, and that seems to be working, but I just have to fix that boost leak, and then it should start reading on the boost gauge. Okay, so I just ended up tightening that boost clamp. It's on there tight now. It's on there pretty tight. I tightened it. So now I'm gonna see if the boost gauge will actually work, and then if it ends up working, then what I'm going to do after that is connect it back, and I'll show you guys how I'm doing that. As you can see, made 5 pounds of boost, and it's staying there, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I need better clamps. These are just terrible. They won't work, they don't do the job. They will do the job for now, but because I don't have those lips on my actual lips on my like intercooler piping, they just won't hold boost. And because I'm not running a blower valve, and all the air is just trying to force itself back down there, the clamps won't do the job. They will do the job for now, but they won't do the job long term. So now that that's working, I can take these two off and remove that straight piece out of there, and put this T piece in between them, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm about to remove these clamps, and I'm about to remove the straight piece. Okay, so this is to the boost gauge here, and this straight piece, which is actually hard to remove, is for the well, I'm not going to use it anymore. I'm going to put a T-piece there now. Alright, so this is the T-piece that I'm using. So this is going to the vacuum reference on the intake manifold. So I'm just going to pop that right in. Okay, and then that goes here, and this boost gauge here just goes there. And I already have clamps on it, so I'll be able to tighten them. Okay, and then this side will go to the boost T, which is which is right here. So this is the boost tee, the wastegate side. That just pops on and it gets tightened, and I'm gonna get another piece for it. Alright, the boost tee is on. One side of the boost tee is going to the vacuum, which is here, and then the tees like that, and then this goes to the boost tee, and then this side of the boost tee goes to the side of the gate, and then this is to the boost gauge. So I'm hoping this will work. I hope this works. Before, when I was testing the boost gauge, I just had a straight piece going from this vacuum port hose to the straight boost gauge, so I didn't have the T or anything like that set up, but everything seems to be working. So alright, they're all tight. It's tight, tight, and the line to the gate is also tight. So we're gonna try this whole thing again and see if now it will still hold boost. I hope so. I don't understand why it wouldn't, so we're gonna give that a go again and see if it still makes 5 psi of boost, which I hope it does. That fender needs to be bolted back on now, but I'll do that after. So let's try that again. Okay. As you can see, made 5 psi of boost, which is what we want. And then if we wanted to, we could turn up the boost or down, but I'm probably going to leave it at that. As you saw, it made 5 psi of boost, so that's good. As you can see, the boost tee and everything is working. So we'll see what happens, but it's looking good. So now the other thing I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is set up that fuel pressure regulator. As you guys remember, this is the regulator that I want to run, so that you know, we don't blow this thing up. And then I also, after I set this up, before I put that in, I have to figure out exactly where I'm going to put it. And the best solution would be, because I'm running nothing else here, only the brake booster, I can put that in, put like a little T in here and run that off there. But I don't know yet, so I'm probably just gonna chill for a bit and ask questions and things like that. But I'll see how that goes, I guess. And I know these factory, every Hyundai comes with a factory regulator, small regulator in the tank. So we'll see if this one's good enough for the first time. Alright, so while I'm thinking about where I'm going to run this regulator and all that, I'll probably just end the video here. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I'm hoping to reach a 100 subscribers by the end of this year, so hopefully we can do that. But the car's looking great. Hopefully I can put it on the road before September. That's the goal. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you guys want to see more, please consider subscribing.